Good morning and welcome to our Food for Thought segment, sports betting picks and analysis. This is the top picks for today for Sunday, January the 26th. My name is Abby. I'll give you my best bets and picks and analysis for college basketball. We have a few games going off this afternoon, so I'll give you picks for that. We're going to begin with Maryland at Indiana. Right now, this game is Maryland -4. That's the opening number. And the total is 149.5. This game is in Bloomington, Indiana. So right now, we're looking at 2.5. Total is at 150.5. If you're wondering where we're getting this information from, oddslogic.com. They have the latest updated line movements, updated totals, over-unders, and updated injury reports as well. Oddslogic.com for this information. All right, so we're going to look into this game head-to-head and the last 10 games. This is Maryland at Indiana. We'll take a look at this now. Just bear with me for a moment while we look into this. Okay, so the last 10 games. This is the first meeting of the season. So the last 10 games between these two teams. I'm sorry, the last 10 games from Maryland, excuse me. Last 10 games from Maryland. 7-3, last 10. 5-5 against the spread. 6-4 to the over. So Maryland, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. They're 4-1 their last 5 games. Regarding the over/under, there are 4-1 to the over. As for the Indiana Hoosiers, 6-4 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 5-5 over/under. They're coming off a 2-game road trip. 2-game road trip for them. They went 1-1. At Ohio, they won at Ohio as an 8-point dog, 77-76, and then they lost at Northwestern as a 5-point underdog, 79-70. Both games they went over the total. Both games. So overall, they're 2-3, last 5, and last 5 here 4-1 to the over. Maryland 4-1 to the over. And Indiana 4-1 to the over, Maryland 4-1 to the over. So both teams right now are 4-1 to the over. So look into this line further, and I'll give you a pick. Let's see. Let me look into this line here. Okay, so for this game, I like Maryland on the money line. This is a money line play for Maryland. Maryland on the money line. And I like for the total. The total is 149.5. It hasn't really done much. Let's see. Let me look into this further. But I do like Maryland here. I like Maryland on the money line. Maryland to win. And because Indiana's been up and down. Indiana's been up and down. Just their whole program itself, it's been a farce in my opinion. Hasn't really done much. So I do like Maryland here in this spot. I'm gonna check the total in this one. I'm looking at the total. Let's see. Gonna go with, I like the under 149.5. So I like the under in this game, under 149.5. It's actually a 150. It's 150 now. So I like the under 150.5. I like the under here in this matchup. I know both teams have gone over the total, but I feel this is a conference matchup between these two teams, and in these conference matchups, these games usually tend to go under the total. So I expect basically a sluggish, slow start for both of these teams. And to me, these teams are better defensively than offensively, in my opinion. So that's why I like the under here. I like under. And the Indiana offense is not all that it's cracked up to be, in my opinion. So that's another reason why I like the under. So yeah, I like the under here. It's at 150, but I like the under. I'll still take the under 150.5. And I like Maryland on the money line. I think Maryland's a good money line play. I like him here. The next game we're going to look at, Duquesne at Fordham. This game opened up at -3. Right now, there are 4s across the board. So -3, total 139. So we'll look into this further. Yeah, so right now 4s are popping up across the board. Total is 138.5. That's Duquesne and Fordham. So look into this game further. Let's see. Duquesne and Fordham. This is the first meeting of the season, so the last 10 games for Duquesne, 7-3, 6-3 against the spread, 5-4 to the over. Duquesne's 3-2 right now, the last 5 games, and 5 straight overs for Duquesne. So 2 of the 5 overs have been at Davidson and at George Washington. The last 3 overs have been at home. Fordham, on the other hand, 4-6 the last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Fordham's lost 6 straight games, and the last 5 games for them, they have been 2-3 to the under. And this game is in Fordham, and the total is 138.5. In my opinion, and for this game, I feel that, first of all, this game, I like the over in this game. I feel that Duquesne's offensive style in this game, especially with it being up-tempo with 5 straight overs, I feel that it's going to have a major influence on Fordham at home. And plus, Fordham doesn't have much of a home court advantage. You can see that in their 6 losses. There's not much of a home court advantage, so this game can push the tempo and force Fordham to play their style of basketball. So that's why I like the over 138.5. I like the over in that one. Regarding the side, I'm not too sure about the side. Because again, I'm not choosing the side because again, this could be a look ahead spot. They're going to St. Joe's in 3 days. They're at St. Joe's, so I find that the St. Joe's game is a bigger matchup for them than Fordham. That's why I'm not touching a side. So this could be a look ahead spot for Duquesne. That's why I'm not touching Duquesne on the spread or the money line. I'm staying away from that, and I'm going to take the over 138.5. I like that. I like that a lot. Over 138.5. Next game we're going to look at UAB at Memphis. This one's -8 Memphis at home. Total 156. Right now we are looking at 7.5 UAB. Right at 7.5. Total is at 158.5. So look further into this game. UAB Memphis. Let's see here. UAB last 10 games, 8-2, 7-3 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Now UAB has been playing very well. They have won 5 games in a row. 2 of the 5 wins have been on the road at Florida Atlantic University and in South Florida. And out of those 5 wins, they are 1-4 to the under. So they're doing it with defense. Defense is the name of the game. Defense travels on the road. So Memphis, on the other hand, 8-2 last 10, 3-7 against the spread, 3-7 to the over/under. So the last 5 games, 4-1 last 5. Total wise, last 5 games, 1-4 to the under. So everything in this matchup, first of all, correlates to the under. So I like the under in this game a lot. Under 158.5. I like the under in this game. I do like the under. Everything's correlating to that. I know it's a high total, but I like the under here for this. I like the under here. Even though it's projecting over, I like the under here. Under 158.5. And I feel UAB style of play, of course. UAB style of play the last 5 to 10 games is correlating to the under. Secondly, for the side, I don't trust Memphis here covering spreads. They have not covered a spread at home since Mississippi, Ole Miss. They covered the spreads at home against Ole Miss. This is at home. So they haven't covered a spread at home in like 3-4 games. And that's not good when you're playing in a UAB team that's hot. That's won 5, it's been 5 straight games. Yeah, they've won 5 straights. And they've been covering spreads, playing hard on the road. Yeah, in this case here, I gotta back UAB and the points. It seems like Memphis, they're not really interested in covering these big spreads right now. They're just coasting. That's from what I'm seeing. They're winning games, but they're just coasting. They're just coasting. They're not really covering these spreads like they should to their full potential. And not only that too, but they have a game, Memphis, against Tulane. They got Tulane up next. This is more of an in-conference game. Tulane's in 4 days. So again, this could be a look-ahead spot. Again, potentially a look-ahead spot. So that's 2 reasons why I'm backing UAB to cover the points. Right now it's at 7.5. I'd still take UAB. I like UAB here. UAB plus the 7.5. I like him here a lot. And I like the under, like I mentioned, under 150.5. So that's it for that game. Next game we're looking at Nebraska at Wisconsin. This one here, -8. Wisconsin. Total 152.5. Open up at 152.5. Right now we're looking at 151. So it's come down. 151. It's at 151. And we're looking at 7.5. Now for this game here, let's see something one moment. Yeah, this game, Wisconsin number 18 in the country right now. Nebraska last 10, 5-5, 6-4 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Nebraska's last 5 games in a row, which is pretty alarming. 3 of those losses have been at Iowa, at Purdue, at Maryland. So the 3 losses on the road, they've only covered one of the games. They covered at Maryland. This is the most recent one. They were 9.5-point underdogs, and they covered as a 9-point dog, but lost. As far as the over/under, 4-1 to the over. 4-1 to the over here. So that's the situation there for Nebraska. Now for Wisconsin, 7-3 the last 10, 7-3 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Wisconsin's won. Let's see. They had won at some point 7 straight games. It was 7 in a row. Yeah, 7 game. So their 7-game winning streak ended at UCLA. They lost a tough one at UCLA. And the over/under, they are 2-3 to the under. So my take on this is, as you know from previous videos, I don't like backing teams coming off a road trip. I don't like. Actually, let me see something. Actually, this game is in Wisconsin, and that's the thing. They're coming back home, and then they're back on the road for 2 games at Wisconsin. So it's a very unusual schedule. So even more so, you're away for 2 games in California, USC, UCLA. You come back home for 1 game at Nebraska. At home versus Nebraska. Then you're back on the road for 2 games, Maryland and Northwestern. So this is kind of a sandwich spot for me at the same time because of that. You're at home for a game, back on the road, So it kind of messes with your body a little bit, in my opinion. So this is why. It's another reason why I like Nebraska here. I like him here. I know they've lost a bunch of games, 5 games in a row. I know that. I understand they've lost a whole bunch of games, and they're in a bad position right now. But I find that the game against Maryland, and this is a road game against Maryland. I find that game against Maryland, I know the USC lost, they were favorites and they lost outright. But I feel that Maryland game, that last road game against Maryland, is going to help this team at least stay within the number. Right now it's 7.5. Yeah, I got to back Maryland. I got to back Maryland here. Not Maryland. Excuse me. I have to back Nebraska here. I feel that game against Maryland, Nebraska. They played it close to the wire. They lost 69-66. They're a 9.5-point underdog on the road. Yeah, I gotta back Nebraska here, plus the 7.5. I have to back them here because this is like I said, this is a sandwich spot for Wisconsin. 2 games on the road, a brief homestand against Nebraska at home, then you're back on the road for 2 games. Yeah, that's not a good spot. I don't like that spot at all for Wisconsin. I don't like it, despite them on a hot streak, and then the streak ended against UCLA. Yeah, I'm going to take Nebraska here. Nebraska at 7.5. I like that here. You can put me down for that. As far as the over/under, I don't have a play for the over/under. Yeah, I have no play on that. For me, it's just Nebraska. I like Nebraska here, and the points. I like that here. Plus the 7.5. Now I'm seeing it going down to 7. So if you like Nebraska, you want to jump on that now, plus 7.5 before it gets to 7, because I see some books going to 7. So keep that in mind. Next game, Florida Atlantic at North Texas. -8 North Texas favored. At home, the total is 137.5. Right now, it's 8.5 North Texas. Total is at 136 right now. So we're going to look into this game further. Let's see. So this game here, first meeting of the season between these two teams. Last 10 games for Florida Atlantic, 6-4 last 10, 4-6 to the against the spread, 3-7 to the under. So the last 5 games, 3-2 last 5 for Florida Atlantic. And the last 5 games, they are 1-4 to the under Florida Atlantic. So this is the first time they are actually underdog. They're an underdog in this role. They've been mainly favorites, Florida Atlantic. So they've been terrible as a favorite. First time as a dog since last year at Michigan State, and they got blown out. And we said the 1-4. Let me see. Yeah, 1-4 as a 1-4 to the under Florida Atlantic. North Texas 8-2 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. So North Texas has been the opposite. They've won 4 straight games, and they've covered 3. They've covered 3 of the 4 games. So actually 4-1 in their last 5. Covered 2 on the road. They covered 1 at home against Rice. They didn't cover against Temple last game, but didn't cover. Last 5 games, 3-2 to the over. Let me look here. And this is 135.5. Let's see. In this matchup here, there's only one way to look in this game. Only one way to look. It's not the side. Definitely not taking the side in this one. For me, it's about the total. I like the total going over, up and over, 136.5. I like the over in this game. North Texas is an over machine. They've gone over especially at home. These guys they have an up-tempo offense. That's basically out of style. It's out of style. It's very up-tempo. And this is something Florida Atlantic's going to have to adjust to with their 1-4 to the under type of style of play. So North Texas, obviously, they dictate the pace of this game from start to finish, up-tempo style. They'll force Florida Atlantic to play their style of game. You know, if they're going to force that, and therefore, I feel and I believe this game goes over the total 138.5. North Texas at Florida Atlantic. So I'm going to be taking that. You can mark me down for that. 138.5 to the over. Definitely be going to be playing that. Next game to look at, Tulsa at home versus Wichita State. Wichita State 4.5 point favorites. Total 144.5. Right now, we're looking at 5. The line's at 5 right now. Mine's 5. Total sitting at 148.5.5, like we mentioned. We'll look at this game further. Okay. So the last 10 meetings, Wichita State, 3-7 against the spread. Sorry, 3-7 overall last 10 against other opposition. 2-7 against the spread. 4-5 to the under. So 1-4 the last 5 games for Wichita State. So they've been a little bit of a rough spot, a little bit of a slump. Now over under they are 2-3 to the under. They've gone under 3 straight games. 2 of those unders at home, 1 at Memphis. So they're a bit of a road trip here. And they've been actually favorites. Now, as an underdog, they covered as a dog at Memphis. Like I said, Memphis, like we mentioned earlier, they have no interest in really covering spreads. They just want to coast and just to get a win, in my opinion. Tulsa, 4-6 last 10, 4-5 against the spread, 4-5 to the under. Tulsa's lost 2 straight games. So actually, both teams are in a major slump. Both teams have lost 2 straight games. They are 2-3 last 5, Tulsa, and 2-3 to the under. So they have very similar paths. 2-3 to the under Wichita, 2-3 to the under Tulsa. So in this case, in my opinion, don't think I'm not gonna play this one, but if I had to play it, I'd lean to the over. I lean to the over because when you have 2 struggling teams offensively and especially on the defensive side of the ball, 2 struggling teams defensively, offensively, that have problems scoring. Oddly enough, I find that those games tend to go over. I know people would bet the under, but in my opinion, I find them to go over the total of 145.5. I find it to go over. But I'm staying up. This is a pass. I'm not going to touch this game. Sides totals is a pass. I have nothing on this game at all. I just lean to the over, but I'm not going to, more than likely, I'm not going to get there. I pass on this one completely. Next game, Illinois at home -8 versus Northwestern. Totals 147.5. Right now we're looking at 150, all the way up to 150, and -8 to Illinois. So look further into this game. Northwestern, Illinois. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to look at the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams. And actually, they played last year, December. Actually, last month, December. This was in Northwestern. Illinois was a 3-point favorite. The total was 142. So Northwestern won at home in overtime, 70-66, and it was under the total, 142. Now they're going to Illinois to play Illinois. And we're looking at the total. It's actually gone up now from the previous game, 149. Now it's 150, like we mentioned earlier. Northwestern, meanwhile, after that game, 6-4 last 10 games, 4-5 to the 4-5-1 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Northwestern's lost 2 straight games. One at home, one on the road at Michigan, one at Maryland. 2-3 last 5 games, Northwestern. I'm sorry. I'm saying Northwestern. Excuse me. Illinois' lost 2 straight games. My apologies. Illinois' lost 2 straight games. 2-3 last 5 games, and 3-2 to the over. Now, on the Northwestern side, 6-4 last 10, 8-2 against the spread, 8-2 to the over. 2-3 for Northwestern last 5 games, and they've gone 5 straight overs. That's amazing. 5 straight overs for Northwestern. So their offense has been playing well, very well. The last 5 games, 5 straight overs, 5-0. So it's amazing. And they've been playing over on the road. They've been playing over on the road at Purdue, at Penn State, at Michigan. These are 3 respectable teams on the road in hostile environments. Their offense has been top notch. And they've covered 2 straight games. Let me see, hold on. They've covered 2 straight games they've covered in a row. Now on the road, 2 straight games they've covered as a dog. Laying points at Indiana, they didn't cover. That was at Indiana. Northwestern laying points at home. They covered it and won, but as a dog, we're talking about as an underdog. Underdog, 2 straight as an underdog they've covered. 2 straight as an underdog. I hope I didn't confuse you guys, but 2 straight as an underdog, and now they're in a 7.5 point underdog. Like we said, the line has gone all the way up to 8. I like Northwestern here to cover the points. I believe they covered the points here. I like him here a lot. Now you're seeing 8.5. 8.5 are starting to pop up here a little bit. I'm on Northwestern. I'm gonna lean Northwestern. And I like the side. I'm gonna take the over. I can't get in front of that Northwestern over. They've been going over, like I said, 5-0 to the over. I got to bet the over here against Illinois. Over 149.5. And I like Northwestern. Northwestern plus the 8.5. They've been consistent. They've been covering 2 straight. They've been consistent for me. So I got to take Northwestern. Let me look at the first half and see something here. Maybe there's more value in the first half. Let's see. Let me take a look at something here. I would full game. I'll do the full game over 149.5. Northwestern plus 8.5. I like this angle a lot. I'm gonna take that. Next game, Oklahoma State versus Texas Tech. 17 is the number, total 148. Right now we're looking at 146.5. And right now the spread's at 18.5. So Texas Tech a big spread here. This will be the last game week. I see 2 more games after this. I see 1 more game after this. First meeting of the season, Oklahoma State 4-6, last 10. 2-8 against the spread. 4-6 to the under. 2-3 Oklahoma State last 5 games. Last 5 here, 3-2 to the over. That's Oklahoma State. Texas Tech 7-3 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 5-5 over under. Texas Tech's won 3 straight games, 2 on the road, 1 at home. They've won 3 straight and covered 2 straight. Right now, last 5 games, 2-3 to the under. 2 and 3 to the under, and 3 and 2 to the over. Let's see. Let's see Texas Tech here. This is a big spread for them. Let's see Oklahoma State. This game's going to be a pass. I have no play on this game. Let me look at one other thing. One more thing to look at. I look at this. This is probably going to be a pass more than likely. But let me take a deeper look. Let's see. Yeah, this game's going to be a pass. I have nothing on this game. This is an absolute pass. Next game we're going to look at. Let's see. Let me just check here. Yeah, Navy at Army, -2, the spread. Total 141.5. Right now we're looking at still at -2. And it's at 142. It's gone up 142. Let's see this game here. Army. This is the last game actually, college basketball. Let's see. So the last 5, let's see. First meeting of the season, Navy 3 and 7 against the spread, 6 and 4 to the over, 6 and 4 to the over. Yes, that's correct. This is Navy against other opposition. Navy is 1 and 4 last 5 games, and 3 and 2 to the over. Navy. Army, 6 and 4 last 10, 4 and 5 against the spread, 4 and 6 to the under. Army has won 5 straight games. They've covered 3 straight games. Yeah, they covered 3 in a row. Won 5 straight, covered 3 in a row. They are 2 and 3 to the under. So they're basically doing it. They're doing it on defense. They're doing it on defense. Navy's the opposite, 3 and 2 to the over. Army 2 and 3 to the 2 and 3 to the under. Let's see. Let's look here. Yeah, when these guys play, every time they play, I notice, in my opinion, is going to be the under. I like the under in this game. Under, let's see. Let me get the latest number here. 142.5. I like the under here. Yeah, I like the under. The thing is, with these two teams, it's always a physical matchup. Always physical. And when it's physical, it's very low scoring. Games get very low scoring. Both teams don't shoot the ball well at all. And the previous 5 meetings are 3 and 2 to the under. So you definitely want to look at a low scoring affair in this game. I don't think anything changes from the past. This is how the guys always play when they face each other head to head. So I definitely look at the under. Under 140. I'm definitely playing this one. This is one I'm going to play. 142.5 under. Navy at Army. Okay, so that's it for the college basketball edition. Thank you for tuning in. Again, good luck with your picks. Whatever you do, cash or trash. I hope you cash, get some winning tickets. Fade or follow, it's up to you, like I mentioned. I only give my picks and opinions how I feel and what I think. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Believe in yourself. Good luck. Peace.